536. Now, parents, teachers, children, and all family members and friends of school children, you are now ready to get your eyes checked. Call 235-0536. As we talk about school, don't forget your insurance, Allstate Insurance Company. Don't forget your independent agent, Marilyn Hildred, Allstate Insurance. Located at 730 Northwest Britain Road. The telephone number is 8430811. And good news, we do have good news for you. Be sure and go to 730 Britain Road, and Calvin will be telling you more about Maryland and Allstate Insurance. Well, it's the labor weekend, and certainly this is a salute to the workers, and we would like to say you can go to Hometown IGA, and located at 2001 Northeast 23rd Street, and guess what? You can get groceries. You can buy your groceries for 24 hours. You're not too late. You're just in time to get the groceries that you want. Don't forget that. Don't forget. Don't you dare forget to pick up your groceries. And when you go into Hometown IGA and look for the bargains. Just don't go in and start buying. Just go in and look for the bargains, because the bargains are there. Capitol Car Wash between 24th and 25th on Martin Luther King. Capitol Car Wash, where you can take your beautiful car, and you gotta look good during this Labor Day. And you can take your car in there and they can wash it, detail it, and it comes out looking sparkling new. That's at Capitol Car Wash, 24th and 25th. You get everything done to your car. You don't have to worry about one thing. All you have to do is go to Capitol Car Wash, 24th and between North 24th and 25th on North Martin Luther King Avenue. The Clara Luper dinner was a success. It was quite a success. You made it so. You supported it with your time and your effort and your presence. You did it, and I haven't ever seen anything as beautiful in my life as that Clara Luper dinner. That dinner was out of sight. Not only that, the speaker was Steve Brown, who spoke on 1-800-COLLECT, and he spoke. The audience loved him. There to receive his award was the Honorable Reverend H.A. Walker, his lovely wife, his daughter, and representatives from his church. It was a beautiful occasion, and Reverend H.A. Walker stood there and said thanks to all. And certainly, Reverend Walker, we would like to thank you, because as that plaque said, you have been the wind under our wings. You've encouraged us at times when we were discouraged. You are something special. Awards were also given to Mr. Sammy Davis, the owner of McKay Davis Funeral Home. Awards were also given to Mr. Wesley Carmichael for his devotion to education, as he has communicated these ideas to the young people on his bus for over 22 years. And then to the Honorable Mrs. McCarver. Best wishes were extended to all of them. And how can you say anything when you got people like Mrs. Freddie Mae Stevens and others in your corner? Calvin, what did you think about the dinner?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. And first of all, I want to compliment you on having such a beautiful week last week, Freedom Fiesta week, and then topping it off with that gigantic and that delicious dinner. And I don't know how you did it, but I know how Mrs. Stale did it. And she did something special to that turkey and those desserts and all that. It was a beautiful dinner. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Our good friend, my little brother Dean over there, is so upset that he had car problems and missed the dinner, and he's been worried about it. What happened? And I said, well, just keep listening to the show, Dean. We're going to tell you all about it. But the food was outstanding, and it was really great to be there to hear Steve Brown speak, because Steve is a young man and has grown and was getting ready to go to finish his enrollment at Oklahoma University. And just seeing all those years of preparation that his family has gone through to get him ready, and then to hear him speak, and then to watch him go out, get in his car full of luggage, and go down to the University of Oklahoma. That made the dinner that much more special for all of us. And Reverend Walker and his family were there, and Mr. Carmichael's representatives, Mrs. McCarver's representatives. It was an outstanding dinner. But I know if we had one of the best dressed awards, I know where that award would have gone at the Freedom Fiesta dinner.
Well, don't tell us about it
Don't tell us
because
about it,
some
okay?
of us are doing the best that we could. Calvin, I was also impressed with Thais Ray, who was the mistress of ceremony, and that welcome given by Brandon Bryant, that was outstanding.
They both are really growing. I think Thais is a sophomore this year, junior this
At
year
Northeast High
at
School.
Northeast High School, and her
And
participant.
Bryant is a
and
sophomore at Southeast High School.
Brian is just a sophomore.
Yes.
My, well, he really was handling himself like a junior or a senior, I would say. But they're really coming into their own. And since that national convention, and it's amazing. And once again, we ought to compliment Oklahoma City on sending these young people, giving them an opportunity to be exposed to different people from across the nation. And you can really see the results of it at that dinner. Because Thais stood there like she knew what she was doing. And I
Well,
said,
she knew what she was doing.
My
She
goodness, a
proved
year ago,
that.
Thais would have been a nervous wreck in front of everybody. But that's what happened when you have an opportunity to learn, and you take that opportunity to learn. Because, they could have been in different places and would have missed the dinner, would have missed the opportunity to be at NACP Youth Council meetings. But then they haven't done that. Their parents have made sure that they've been in attendance at the meetings and that they have been able to grow in Robert's Rules of Order and in confidence with themselves. So congratulations once again, youth council members. And I'm looking forward to this back to school special we're doing today. I know you have something special you're going to tell the
That's
parents.
right. But
and we're
let's
looking
finish the
forward to
dinner.
it.
Mrs. Deborah Jackson, a past recipient of the Clara Luper's Service Award, was there. And she told the people how she felt last year when she received her award, along with a delegation from Passion Home and Health Care. We better talk about Passion Home and Health Care, located at 3838 Northwest 36th Street. The telephone number is 943-5779, but we couldn't talk about it as sincerely as Nancy Davis did.
No way. Nancy Davis and Mrs. Hunter have both been recently. They've had an opportunity to see the results of Passion Home Health Care. And it was just a fantastic introduction. But, I had a difficult time recognizing Mrs. Jackson and that staff. They came in there so beautiful. I was back in the kitchen doing my waiter duties. And I looked around and I saw these beautiful young ladies come through the door. I said, who are these people? Where are they from? And lo and behold, it was that staff from Passion Home Health Care. It makes me want to just go out there and visit them and see what else is happening there at Passion Home Health Care. But they do a great job along with looking good. And I know that everybody that I've talked to that's had an opportunity to use their services has really been complimentary of their hard work and their dedication.
This is a Clara Luper radio show, and this portion of our show is brought to you by Passion Home and Health Care, located at 3838 Northwest 36th Street here in Oklahoma City. This is our Back to School special. And I would like today for you to call and congratulate some young people that will be going back to school. In the meantime, I want you to listen very carefully because Calvin is going to tell you about Maryland Hildred's Allstate Insurance Office.
With pleasure. That's Allstate Insurance, 730 West Britton Road. Now, the Allstate Insurance, at Maryland Hildred's Allstate Insurance at 730 West Britton Road, you can get the best in service, and you better believe that we're going to do everything we can to make sure all of your insurance needs are addressed. Now, you can talk with April, you can talk with Shelley, you can talk with Merlin, or you can even talk with Calvin out there, and I'll be happy to help you to the best of my ability, because at Allstate Insurance in Maryland Hildred's office, we want to make sure that you and your family are totally covered. We want to make sure that you and your family are planning for the future. And Allstate, that's the place to be. That's the insurance to have on your home, on your auto, on your motorcycle, on your boat, on your life. And you need to give us a call out there, 843-0811, and we'll give you a free quote on any of your insurance needs, 843-0811. Or you can come by and just stop and come in and enjoy the atmosphere that the Allstate Insurance has there at Maryland Hildred's office, 730 West Britton Road.
Calvin, last week you caused me a lot of confusion because I told the people that my son was getting married. and everybody thought it was you. And people forget that I do have a son older than you. My son that got married last week was Harold, and he married a
You think
beautiful
it
young
caused you
lady.
confusion? It caused me a little confusion,
But somebody called and said,
even
"Well,
at the
I
wedding
didn't know
here.
Calvin was getting married." I said, "Calvin didn't get married. Calvin is still on the bachelor's list,
No,
hoping and praying that he can find someone that will tolerate him." But Harold was the one that got married, and I would like to thank Reverend Weekly for performing that ceremony for
I'm
us.
glad to have a new sister-in-law too. That
She's
Jay's
beautiful.
something special now. I'm just
She's
glad to see
very
Harold and
beautiful.
Jay being that happy. And that's marriage is a happy time, and that truly was a happy time. And you had everything was so beautiful and well done. Again, I just don't know how you did it every day last week. You were on top of it. Way to go, Mom.
Well, we would like to also thank Exotic Plants and Florists for the beautiful flowers, and they are located at
Corsages and
3620
boutonnieres, boy, we
North
were ready.
Lincoln Boulevard. Yes, we were ready. It was just a little family affair. Exotic is located at 3620 North Lincoln Boulevard, and Sylvia knows exactly how to arrange those flowers. The telephone number is 528-7659. Harold is a refrigerator and air conditioned man, isn't he?
And he definitely needs some work now.
Yeah, he's going to have to take care of
Jay,
that beautiful
Jay is
young
putting it
lady.
on him. She's saying, "Well, now there's no off days, Harold. You got to get this air conditioning and refrigeration business going." And we will be talking a lot more about Harold Green refrigeration and air conditioning services because we know he does good work, and we know that he will do good work. You need to give him a call. I think the best way to reach him now is a 424-3949 number. And we'll try to beep him and get him over there to you just as soon as possible. Now, even though it may look like it's going to be hot, it is going to be hot the rest of the year. So your air conditioning, if it needs any help or any services, Harold Green Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, the newlywed man.
Oh, yes. Calvin, but next Saturday night is a night. That's the time the people from Grayson and Hoffman will get together in the beautiful home of Gene Ford. Now, Gene Ford is the president of the Grayson Hoffman Club. We call it the Gray Hoff Club. And you are asked to be present. If you are from Grayson or Hoffman, give him a call today or give me a call. And you are to be there, and you haven't seen nothing until you see the kind of food that we're going to have there. I was talking to Gene Ford, and he told me that he was barbecuing out on his, I don't know what to call his home. Every time I look at it, I want to call it an estate or what have you. It's between here and Edmond, Oklahoma. Gene Ford is an example of what can happen to people from Hoffman, Oklahoma, and he will have everything ready. The
Well, not
barbecue
just
will be
Hoffman,
ready.
Mom. I think the small
Grayson.
cities, those people that had what I would say were rough beginnings. You look at what they've been able to accomplish. They've gotten their kids through schools. They have built some beautiful homes. They take care of their yards. It's just amazing, and it's encouraging to see what they have been able to do, and it also kind of gives you that extra oomph to make sure that you do a little bit better.
Well, if you're from Hoffman, Oklahoma, one thing you know Maddie Watkins Baker. And Maddie,
Oh my!
Maddie is baking for that big picnic. I know she will start baking early Saturday morning. It will be ready by 4 o'clock. Not only that, Onita Brown is getting ready. Johnny Mae Nixon getting ready. Marilyn Hildred better get ready because she's part of Hoffman. Gladys Elliott's all smile. And you talking about some proud people when they saw uh, Helen's husband is one of the with 5 generations at Tabernacle, T.C. Howard. We're so proud of him. But what T.C. Howard's going to do for that picnic is unbelievable. I can hardly wait until next Saturday night. If you are from Grayson or Hoffman, if you're married in that family, you give us a call because that picnic, the first of its kind, that when the Grayson and Hoffman people get together, it's going to be something special. Now I need something. Those of you that are going to Grayson or Hoffman for the weekend, I need you to bring me 10 tablespoons of dirt from Hoffman and 10 tablespoons from Grayson. I'm going to make something out of that you have never seen before because I believe the dirt in Hoffman is richer than the dirt in Grayson.
What are you gonna make, Mama?
I'm
Grayson
not going to tell
Hoffman
you.
mud pie?
No, I just want some dirt from Hoffman and some from Grayson.
That would be
because
easy to do. It's a lot of dirt in Grayson and a lot more dirt around that Hoffman area.
But see what I'm going to do. See, you have to take in Hoffman and Grayson. We learn how to take something, a little something, and make a big something out of it. I have an idea that's out of sight. So if you are going to Hoffman or Grayson this week, be sure and bring me 10 tablespoons. Now, don't come up to my house with a load of dirt from Hoffman or Grayson.
How
I
you
just
gonna
want
tell the
10
difference?
tablespoons. Calvin, don't you know I know 10 tablespoons of
You,
dirt?
you know Grayson dirt, eh? You know
Okay.
Hoffman dirt. But if you
Okay.
go into Grayson or Hoffman this weekend, make sure you don't run that one stop sign down there.
Why would you need more than one stop
Well,
sign?
it's a growing community, so it looked like they'd have one at the other end of the block. But
Well, I'll guarantee you that Grayson is on the move. Hoffman is not moving as slow as Grayson. Well, congratulations to the winners and the losers in last week's campaign. It was a great campaign, and certainly I would like to congratulate the winners and the losers. But now we are looking forward to the runoff, and I want to tell you that it's going to be a runoff.
well, you mentioned the losers in that, and you're congratulating them. I think maybe you better explain that a little more.
Yeah, in the first
Because
place,
a loser being what are you congratulating them for? Participating or what?
in a democracy, most of the outstanding people that have been in politics have always been losers. Let's look at Abraham Lincoln, who ran for the United States Senate and who lost, who put up a sign saying that he was a lawyer and went out of business, who tried so many things. And then let's look at John F. Kennedy, who lost, but he came back. Yes, yes, yes. We are going to look forward to the new election. Now, you've seen the Democratic convention, you've seen the Republican convention. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know which convention that you have included which political party had inclusions. But I can say one thing. You saw more than 2 or 3 blacks at the Democratic convention. You saw all kind of blacks, all kind of whites, all kind of Indians, all kind of Hispanics, and name it, and they were there. But today is our back to school special, and we would like to remind those of you that are going to school of why you're going to school. We don't want you to walk in school with those expensive tennis and leave out there with nothing in your head. We are very concerned, and we would like for you to call us at 672-1220 and congratulate someone that you know is going back to school, taking care of business. And all you have to do is say to me, Mrs. Luper, I would like to congratulate Steve Brown, who's going to Oklahoma University. And you call and congratulate the people you would like to congratulate, because it's time to congratulate. Now, I would give my right arm to be a junior or freshman in high school. I would get in there and read so many books, it would be unbelievable. Because after all, you've seen the Olympics, and you know in order for those people to compete, they had to practice, and that's what you're going to have to do to compete in the great field of education. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and this part of the show is brought to you by Passion Home Care. Passion Home Care, where you get that special care. So many of you have called me about my book. It is true that I'm writing a book on the subject of it is facts about the Black History Monument and Wall. In this book, I'm hoping that you will get a copy of it and read it, and then you will do some extra work. Now, you should be able to write some biographies yourself. You should try. Calvin, you're back, and I'm so happy because this is a back-to-school special.
Yes, indeed, the back to school special, and we're getting ready to talk to some people about a back to school special. But on line one, we have a young lady there that has a couple questions, especially for you, Mom.
Questions for me?
Questions for you, live and on the air.
Okay. Hello?
Hello. Yes, who is that lady that's running? I have 2 questions. The lady that's running for court clerk, and then I understand there's a young man that used to be president of the Chief of Police Association that's running for sheriff. Who are those people?
Well, I know the lovely Mrs. Hawkins is running for court clerk.
Okay.
Now, she is a very lovely young lady, and you remember last year she ran for on a statewide basis, but now she's running so that she can truly be elected. It is unbelievable how determined she is and how dignified. And I saw her at the Clara Luper's dinner, and she stood there with dignity. Now, as far as who is running for the what other office?
Now, I understand someone told me that there was a man that was running for sheriff that used to be chief of president of the chief of police association or something like that. Who is he?
Well, I don't know anything about the sheriff's race other than Mr. Sharp is running, I know,
Uh-huh.
and Mr. Whitzel. Now, I know those two on the Democratic ticket, and there are a large number of them that's running on the Republican ticket, and they should be in a runoff. But I'm so proud of Miss Hawkins. If you see her, I'd like to get her response from that dinner because I saw her there Saturday night.
Okay.
But thank you so much for calling me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
I sure like for people to call me and ask me questions because I have an answer. I have an answer for you if you are having any problems. If you need your car washed, I can tell you exactly where to go. And I would like to congratulate the young people down at Oklahoma University that's getting ready for Miss Black OU. Those of you that are in that area, all I want you to do is to make sure that you're contacting the right people down at Oklahoma University, and I will be telling you who they are. Calvin, anybody you would like to congratulate that's going to school?
Of
And
course,
you can call that name.
I'd like to congratulate the freshmen of Langston University. You know, not only because Alicia is there, but because there are about 489 other freshmen out there at Langston University, and they are part of a great tradition. And this is a great year for them to be starting their advanced educational studies. And I just want to congratulate all of them and tell them we're looking forward to seeing them by homecoming because we know they won't be acting like freshmen. Then there'll be some mature college students. But Langston University freshmen, congratulations. I better also mention that great University of Central Oklahoma freshman too, because this is a challenging time to be in any school, but especially, and I think definitely is challenging to be in college. So keep up the good work, get discouraged, but learn from that discouragement and go on and go places that we, believe it or not, have only dreamed about.
They tell me now if you don't have an education, you're running with cement in your shoes.
Wet cement at that.
Wet cement trying to run and trying to compete. And
Okay,
then
well, we have another caller here that's
Okay.
had someone special that they want to mention on the Back to School special here on the Clara Luper Radio Show at KTLV. How are you doing this beautiful morning?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Miss Luper. Good morning,
Good
Calvin.
morning.
Miss Luper, you said it well. They're running with cement in their shoes. So I appreciate you and what you're doing and sharing with us this morning. This is Audrey Howard Harris. And I want to start out the morning and congratulating our daughter, Miss Yolanda Harris, who is a second, third grader at Horace Mann Elementary School.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations to her. I know she will do well.
Thank you, Clara. You all have a blessed day.
Well, thank you. Now, that's one thing I like. And you parents always accusing me. Say, Clara, you're always talking about your children. All of them. And, you know, I have all kinds of children. And you better congratulate yours because my grandmother, who didn't have a lot of education, she says, a poor dog won't wag his own tail. Call me and congratulate your own children. Thank you, Mrs. Harris.
672-1220 is the number that
And
you
call
call
your
out here.
children's name.
And let us know who they are and where they're in school and what they're doing because it's very important to those of us here at the radio station, those of us here on the radio show, to encourage these young people because the newness of school is worn off. You know, those first few weeks, first few days have gone by, all the new clothes have been worn, and I know the teachers and the staff, everybody's know what room they're supposed to go to, what room they're supposed to be in, where the pencils go, and all of that. But now's the time to really get down and get busy with the educational process that is so very important.
Congratulations to Chantel Thomas, Oklahoma University. Those of you that want to be in Miss Black OU, call her. Her telephone number is 325-3787. Those of you that want to be in Miss UCO, contact Mr. Lofton at University of Central Oklahoma, Mrs. Dumford at Cameron University, and that pageant will be on February the 1st. And those of you that are interested in the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant, do like some others, enroll now because that pageant will be on March 1st. Calvin, you better congratulate Cameron.
I'm getting ready
Okay,
to. You know,
go.
Mom, I enjoy good music, and it's a song that I want to send out to all of the students out there. And the song has a special meaning to me because if you can keep up with your feet and you know where your feet are, then you can really do some progressive things and you can do some great things. But this song, I know all of you have heard it before, but I want you to listen to it in a very special way here on the Clara Luper Radio Show on our Back to School special. Order My Steps. all morning. But today it has a very special meaning because we're sending that out to all of you students out there and all of the teachers and all of the support staff at our educational institutions here in Oklahoma and within our voice on, here on KTLV. So this is the Back to School special on the Clara Luper Radio Show. You can call us 672-1220. And Mom, I just found out that if you have your mobile phone and you feel like calling us, you can call star 1220 and it's a free call.
All
so
right.
if you're on that highway, you're going to that Parents'
right.
Day, or you're Parents' Day at Langston, or you're going down to OU to visit, or Oklahoma State University to visit, or Southwestern, and you want to call us here at KTLV, you can call us at 672-1220 on your mobile star 1220.
Okay.
But good things happen when you listen to the Clara Luper Radio Show.
Something good is getting ready to happen now.
Something good. Mom, you know that thing you say about my hand, with these hands? I want to make sure that today we bring that up again.
Okay.
Okay. So back to you, Mom.
Okay, thank you. I have on the line a young man that has done so much to motivate all of us, Mr. Leon. Mr. Pons, how are you today?
Yes, fine. How are you this morning, Miss Luper?
How are you today, Mr. Pons?
Yes, fine. Yes.
Mr. Pons, is it true that you have worked on one job for 38 years?
That's correct, sister.
Where's that job?
Yes.
What kind of job is that?
It's a job with the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Department. I've been there for 38 years. I worked under 3 sheriffs, Bob Turner and Gene Wells, and then J.D. Sharp.
Which sheriff have you enjoyed working on the most?
I've enjoyed J.D. Sharp. You've done more for me than either 3 of the sheriffs.
Why, what is it about J.D. Sharp? Has he been able to do anything? I noticed we have had a lot of talk recently about what Sharp hasn't done, and I'm particularly interested now in blacks with job opportunities. Are there any blacks employed under J.D. Sharp?
That's correct, Sister Miss Luper. I'm sorry. Yes, J.D. Sharp has done great for the blacks in Oklahoma City. When he took office, it was only 2 blacks in Oklahoma County Sheriff's Department.
Just a minute. When he took office, there were how many blacks?
2 blacks was all we had, was 2 blacks.
Who were those 2?
It was myself and the guy by the name of Charles Watkins.
Just 2 blacks in the sheriff's office?
That's right. One in the jail and one down in the criminal division.
Now, where were you?
I was in the criminal division.
Okay, but what about now?
Now, since J.D. came in, Miss Luper, I'll have to give you the credit for that, because when he took office, you came down and wanted to know what J.D. was going to do for the blacks. And he told you, Miss Luper, send me many blacks that you send down. All I want them to have is a high school education and no criminal record. And he have done that. He have hired. We have on the total of the record now of 49 blacks.
You have 49 blacks employed.
And we have 4 coming in the first of this month. 49 blacks now and 4 coming in the first of this month.
Okay, now what departments are these blacks working in?
We have 39 black males, and 6 of the males are supervisors. And we have 14 black females, and 2 of them are supervisors.
2 black female supervisors?
That's correct.
Okay.
1 sergeant and 1 lieutenant.
Wonderful. What else do you have?
And we have 2 blacks, male, in the patrol division. We have patrol. You know, when J.D. took office, Miss Luper, we didn't have a patrol on the street. And the first thing he did, he ordered 6 new cruisers and put them out on the streets.
When you say patrol, you mean deputies that ride around in these automobiles?
That's right, ride around in the Sheriff Mark cruisers. We have 2 blacks, and we have 1 coming up. Another patrol will be going out after the first of the month. And his name will be, well, I can't call his name right now, but anyway, he'll be going out the first of the month. And we have 1 criminal black deputy. He's the captain. That's the first captain we ever had in the Sheriff's Department.
You have a captain in the Sheriff's Department in Oklahoma County?
That's right. And his name is Brother Thompson. His name is Thomas.
All right, now, I understand that Sheriff Sharp is facing the crisis of his life because the people in Oklahoma County, we have to decide whether or not they want him or a young man from a different location. And I do hope that I will have someone to interview him, or maybe Mr. Payne will call me and let me know how many blacks he has hired out in the Choctaw area. Do you happen to know how many black officers out in the Choctaw area?
1 black is all he has. working for him in the police department in the Choctaw area.
Well, I hope you all won't be like the people in Chicago. You remember when they changed mayors up there? The blacks went for somebody else, and all of them got fired afterwards. Well, I don't know then.
I hope not. Yeah.
Oh,
But
oh.
anyway, I hope everyone go out. We have very few people coming out to vote now, Miss Luper. I work the voting places on the voting election day, and there's very few people voting, and I wish they would get out and vote. That's what we need. That's what happened. We had very few people vote on this election.
Well, we're going to work hard because all intelligent people should be out and voting, because if you don't vote, who will?
That's right.
And if you don't make your decision. Well, Mr. Pons, I would like to thank you, and I would like to congratulate you. I know you retired from the Sheriff's Department, didn't you?
I retired, and I was off 2 months, and J.D. called me back. He said he needed me back because I was supervisor over 14 men, and he needed me back to supervise over those guys.
So you're a big supervisor.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Luper, and appreciate all you've done for us. You've been a great help to the sheriff, and he wanted you to know he appreciates all you've done for him, and he will be getting with you shortly.
Mr. Pons, I would like to congratulate you not only for what you're doing in Sheriff's Office, but what you're doing at your church. I understand that you all are in a building program.
That's correct. Yes, ma'am. And we have a church is certainly growing, and we have a very good pastor, Reverend Kelly Booker.
But Reverend Booker's too young to pastor the church.
No, he's a great little speaker, and I enjoy you coming down to hear him and invite everyone to come.
Okay, let me ask you, how old was he when you all got him as your pastor?
He was 23 years old.
And he's been there for 7 years?
He's been there 10 years because he's assisted under Reverend McCown for 3 years before he took reign.
And you all hired a 23-year-old man as a pastor.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Pons.
Okay.
Bye-bye. I
Thank you,
love
Miss
you.
Butler.
Okay. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and this show is being brought to you by Clara Luper's book that will be out, and when it comes out, I will tell you. Back to school. Let's hear from you. Hello?
Yes, Mom. We have some people that we're getting ready to talk with, and we have a young lady who wants to say something special about her daughter
I
who's
don't
in
blame
school
her.
somewhere, one of these higher institutions
I
of
don't
learning.
blame you. Talk about your children, honey. That's what we've got to do, and that's what I liked about the Democratic Convention. Those people talked about their children. We got to talk about ours. Hello?
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Yes.
This is Kathy Smith, Principal Secretary at Northeast High School. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing fine. I'd like to wish my daughter, Alanya Smith, who's a second-year student, Regent student at Langston University, Godspeed and good luck this year.
Oh, wonderful.
And also my oldest daughter, Shannon Sanders, who's going back to Langston this year.
Shanna is what, a junior?
She's a sophomore, you know.
Sophomore.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Also.
Well, thank you. Aren't you proud of your
I'm
children?
very proud. And my granddaughter, Shaquan Sanders, who's a second-year student at Learners Academy here in Oklahoma City.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for listening to Clara Loop and pushing your own.
Well, thank you. You tell Shelley I said hello, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, Shelley will be out to Maryland's next week, and then after then she has to go to Chicago, but she will be back.
Well, tell her Miss Smith said hello.
Okay, Miss Smith.
All right.
That Miss Smith is wonderful, a person that really loves children. 672-1220. Call me and talk about your children. Let's get back to
Or
school.
star 120.
Or star 120.
1220.
Talk about your children. Because if we don't talk about our children, who will? If they do something bad, the newspapers and television will talk about it. Now, children, it's time to go back to school. And I want you to go to school, but I don't want you running up and down in those halls, and I don't want you getting in any kind of trouble. I want you to get in school and study. And I would like to say to little old David, who last year was at Crescent Hill and this year will be at Moon. David, I'm counting on you this year because I know you are great. Congratulations to our students wherever they are. And I would like for you to join me this morning in our back to school special by calling the names of the students. That's what I want you to do. Hello? Yes.
Hello.
Geraldine?
Yes.
Good.
How are you, Miss Luper?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm excited because this is our back to school special.
Yes. My granddaughter Natasha Braxton she left this morning for Brownie Mac in Salina, Kansas.
Really?
And my other granddaughter, Kanika Braxton, will be a sophomore at Star Spencer.
Wonderful. Well, I want to congratulate you. I'm really proud of you and those beautiful girls. Isn't that wonderful, going back to school?
Yes, I'm proud of them, too.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the Clara Luper Radio Back to School Special, and we are congratulating our children. Oh, Calvin. Yes. Hello, Louise?
Yes, this is Louise, and I was wanting to wish my daughter Terry Young, who is a junior at Midwest City High School, congratulations in going back to school.
Terry, going back to school at Midwest City High School.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. You all are keeping the dream alive. No kidding about it. And our dream is to see our kids go back to school and excel. Because the opportunities are out there. There's no excuse. And thank you so much for calling Clara Luper.
Okay.
Let's call out here. Let's call the names of our children. Let's be proud of our children because we don't own any banks. We don't own any oil wells, but we do own our children. And it takes a village to raise a child. I love that. I don't know what was wrong with Dole or some of those Republicans saying it takes a family. And some of us, the only family we have, just everybody. Down in Hoffman, everybody was everybody. The Fords, the Watkins, the Shepherds. We were all just one big family. If one person catch you out of order, you're in serious trouble. And speaking of trouble, there'll be no trouble Saturday night because those Grayson and Hoffman people are going to get together. I can hear them talking now. And they can tell some of the strangest jokes you have ever heard in your life. You might not laugh at them, but we find it's pretty funny when somebody got some bull, some fell down in the grass, or somebody went looking for berries and didn't find any. Back to school, and when you go back to school, I want you to walk up, heads up. Calvin, how are we doing?
Mom, we're doing fantastic, and we have a young lady on the phone that I had to come back over here because I want to hear all of this myself because she has a right to brag, and I want to just hear how she brags on her kids and her grandkids. Good morning, Mrs. Sutton. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Okay, bragging time is yours here on the Clara Luper Radio Show, KTLV. Tell us about them.
Yeah, I'm talking about Brandon Bryant. He's in the 11th grade, and he goes to Southeast School, and I'm proud of him. We go to True Love Baptist Church. He plays for the choir, the senior choir, and the junior choir. And I just love him, and I want the world to know that he is a wonderful guy, and he is to be praised. He loves his grandmother. He's here when I'm sick. He stands by my side. I just love him, and I just praise him. And I'm giving him his flowers while he's living.
Well, I think that's commendable, and that's the thing to do. You better give us our flowers while we're living, because when I die, I don't want you rocking up to my house with some flowers and some food for Calvin. Marilyn, I want all of mine now. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sutton, for being my guest today. Calvin is grinning from ear to ear.
Because I knew Mrs. Sutton would be bragging just right, and she has
she's
a right to brag.
I'm telling you,
It's
heard
difficult. It's difficult to raise a kid, and especially to raise grandkids too. But just to see their growth and to see their progression is something fantastic. And all of us have a reason to be proud that have had the opportunity to raise these kids and to see them go to school and see them learning something, bringing some homework home and getting some good grades and preparing themselves for this new century coming up. Well, this is a challenging time to be a student, and we have a young man on another line here that wants to congratulate his daughter, and I think somebody else. And
okay, well, let's have those congratulations.
It's none other than Brother Bobby Nicholson. How are you doing this morning, Mr. Nicholson?
Fine, thank you. How are you this morning? I just want to call and congratulate my granddaughter, Denise Simpson. This is her second year at Prairie View University. She's a member of Tabernacle Baptist Church. And I just want to praise the Lord that she returned to school this year.
Wonderful. I know you're proud.
I really am, Miss Luper, and you're doing a wonderful job, and God bless you and your station.
Well, thank you so very kindly. Congratulate your children, and you better congratulate Cameron Myers because he brought home a ribbon. And I said, Cameron, what is this for? And he said, I won this today because I know how to be quiet. I said to myself, you better be quiet because if I hear of you having trouble in school, I don't belong to this new school of discipline. If you can't get it in their heads, put it in their behinds. And I'd like to see the court tell me that I can't whip Cameron. Because if my Board of Education was good enough for Calvin, Merlin, Shelley, Harold, it's good enough for Cameron. Okay. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and we are talking about getting back to school. And I would like to congratulate Richard Brown, who retired from school teaching, and I know he's been crying this week because he's not back in school. Richard, don't cry. All you have to do is just volunteer some service.
You're absolutely right, Mama. It's great seeing Richard Brown retired, but I sort of feel sorry for him because I know that those teachers who didn't go back this year or that retired, they sort of have a big gap left in their lives. And but I know the educational system will go on, but I know that they're missing some great teachers, and just maybe some of these teachers may go back in the school system. You never know, do you?
You never know, but I know one who will not.
Oh, which one is that, Mama?
Clara. Wonderful, wonderful. I know you're proud of her.
Very proud.
Oh, and I'm proud of you being the kind of mother that will call in and congratulate your daughter.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Congratulations are in order, and we have about 8 minutes left for you to call us and congratulate your own children.
Mom, this one young man I want to send out a special congratulations to. That's a student at Douglas High School this year. Matter of fact, he's on the football team. And that's our good friend, our dynamic partner, the young man that is really growing. We're looking forward to how
the quarterback,
Cocaine.
Oh, wonderful.
So congratulations, Cocaine. This is going to be a challenging year for you. Make sure that you not only excel in sports, but you also put some knowledge in that brain.
Yeah, because if you don't have any knowledge in your head, you're in bad shape because you will not be able to run in that great Olympic game known as life. I've never seen anybody that wanted to hire somebody that didn't know anything. So therefore, if you have an opportunity. Now, we have a lot of talk about these people can't teach me nothing. All you have to do is shut your mouth, open your ears, and get ready to learn. Now, I don't care how handsome you are or how beautiful you are. Nobody wants anybody that does not know anything. Let me ask you something. If you had to go out in the world and tell somebody, my name is John Doe, but I didn't finish high school, I dropped out. You should drop out of that man's office. Willie Carter is here from Minneapolis, Minnesota, or St. Paul, and he's going to a family reunion down in Idabel, I think, Oklahoma. And we would like to thank you, Willie, and thank you for finishing high school and for staying in there. And the job you're doing with young people in St. Paul cannot be overlooked. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and this part of our show is being brought to you by Capital Car Wash. Calvin, you all smiles. What's going on?
Because we have that star 1220 call on line 1, and
Great.
It's none other than Reverend Gray, who's out in the Luther area. Good morning, Reverend Gray. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show.
How you doing, Miss Luper? This is Elder Dwight Guy, one of your students.
Oh, how are you?
And I want to congratulate all my students that are going back to a school, at college, at OU, OSU, Langston University, and my three daughters are going to Classen Advanced Study and Steed Elementary. We got some wonderful students at Luther High School, and I guarantee you they are upcoming. They'll make this church a brighter church too.
Okay, when you say making this church, what are you talking about?
That means that they're coming back and using their talent. We have a lot of talent in the church for as playing the piano, for as being on honor roll at their school, at Carl Abbott, at OU, at Langston University, at Classen Advanced Study, and Steed Elementary too.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for calling us. And I'm so proud of you, because if you're proud of your own children, you know how proud I am of you and what you have been able to do.
Yes, I appreciate you and Calvin, too.
Well, thank you so very kindly.
And thank you for calling.
Thank
Mom,
you.
the church plays a very important role in the educational process, too. And from your experience in the classroom and in the educational system, how important do you think the church is in the public school?
The church is all important because, in the first place, when you can look at Christians, and a Christian is more than singing a song in church or ushering. It's showing love when you go to school. And Christians don't curse, Christians don't fight, but Christians do show love and understanding, and they seek that knowledge. Aren't you proud of our children that it's easy to teach? Calvin, I want to hear from somebody else because I have 4 minutes
left. We have time for one more call, and I believe that'll be Mrs. Claretta Bonds. Good morning, Mrs. Bonds. How are you doing this beautiful morning here in Oklahoma?
I'm doing fine, and I just appreciate what Miss Luper said about church, because I'm a Christian. I think I am, but I'm working that way. But I want to just thank my grandson for going back to school off of the street. He went back to Job Corps. Last Tuesday, we talked about him so bad till he finally decided there wasn't nothing on the street. He went a year and got out of school and stayed on the street a year. But God fixed it, so he sent him back, and he called us yesterday and told us that he was in Job Corps.
That is just wonderful. Job Corps is doing a terrific job, and I'm
Yes.
doing a special show
It is.
on Job Corps. They are doing a wonderful job, and our young people are being trained. Thank you so much for calling me.
You're welcome, Ms. Luper.
Well, this is our back to school special. I want you to get out your pencils and paper, young people, and I want you to listen to me. First, there was a time that black people could not go to school. It was against the law to teach black people how to read and how to write. It was against the law. Well, that law has been declared null and void, and now they are anxious for blacks to go back to school. It was also against the law for blacks to try to go into hotels and motels and what have you. The doors are open now. But if you're too drunk, you're too full of dope, you're too full of criminal records to walk in, too bad you. Now, what I want to tell you, school is starting. And I don't want to hear of any of you being expelled from school. Now, the only way you can be expelled from school is by running your mouth, getting into trouble. I want you to get in those books, and I want you to study. I want you to run to the library. I want you to look your teachers in the eyes. If you are making a A, tell your teacher to give you some more work. If you're making a B, tell your teachers that you got to have some more work. Because now the sad news, we don't have enough doctors, we don't have enough lawyers, we don't have enough engineers, and I could go on down the line.
Well, Mom, I had 2 calls there while you were saying that we definitely have to get out. And that one is from Pastor Bradley. And, you know, he has a son out at Langston University. He's majoring in business technology. He plays in the band. He plays in the jazz band. But he's out at Langston. He's taking care of plenty of business. But Pastor Bradley say that's not all. He has Melody. He has Big Boy, who's Myron Johnson. And he has Kiki and some more grandchildren that are not just going to school. They're excelling. I also want to compliment thank Eunice Russell for calling and talking about her Kiki and her grandkids, and her kids are in school this year at the different schools here in Oklahoma City. But this has been a beautiful show, and everyone is saying thank you, Mom, for doing a back to school special, because we know how important education is. So go ahead, let's close it out with one of those famous Clara's Luper.
We want to close it out by saying, who are the biggest fools in the world? A fool is a person that will go to school and won't learn. A fool is a person that will cut school, curse teachers, disobey parents. Well, anyway, somebody wanted me to call the biggest fools. Well, I can say this. If you're having trouble with your children, send them to us. We meet at NACP office every Monday night, and we work with kids with problems because we do. That's why we love them so, and we cannot afford to lose a child. As I look at the clock on the wall, I know it's time for Clara Luper to say goodbye. But before I say goodbye, don't forget to go to Capital Car Wash and get that car washed. And don't forget your haircuts. And for all you do, be sure and go to church Sunday. And don't come trying to jive me, telling me you've been to church and you haven't been nowhere but church is chicken. This is Clara Luper saying goodbye, and I do love you. Bye-bye.
The program you've just heard
This
was
is
a paid
AM
program.
1220.
The views and opinions expressed and products endorsed are not necessarily those of KTLV, its staff, or management.